Hey folks, this is Jake with Seattle Coffee Gear, and today we've got a crew comparison between a well-known machine, the Saeco Via Venezia, and a new kid on the block, which is the Solis Barista Perfetta. Now, while these machines may not be identical in terms of the forms and features that they have, we thought that the Barista Perfetta would be a great competitor for the Via Venezia, just as an upgrade to a very reliable and handy machine to have at home. So the Via Venezia is a classic. It's actually been discontinued for a number of years. We were able to get our hands on this model here, which works great and looks pretty good too. It's nice and compact. It has a 53 millimeter pressurized portafilter that also comes with a single basket, a double basket, and a pod basket. Compare that to the Solis, which has a 54 millimeter portafilter, which comes with a single and double pressurized, as well as a single and double non-pressurized basket, along with that ESE pod basket. So you can use basically any type of coffee in here, from pod all the way up to grind your own espresso grind. The Via Venezia, super simple machine. That's why a lot of our customers and folks out there love it. It is just brew, steam, and hot water and a power button, and that's all there is to it. Not a lot of features on here, but simplicity is sometimes best. Compare that to the Solis, where there are lots of features on here that give it a couple of edges up on the competition. You can program your shot volume in here for both your single and double shot. You also have a manual steam wand compared to the Panarello steam wand of the Via Venezia, meaning this one will take a little bit more getting used to, but you'll definitely be able to produce better latte art and latte art quality milk in the end. The Solis also has an auto purge function, so after you're done with steaming, it actually purges just a touch of water down in the drip tray from the thermoblock, meaning that you can steam and then release that pressure so that you're ready to brew even sooner than something like the Via Venezia here. The Solis has a large water tank, a 56-ounce removable water tank, where the Via Venezia also has a fairly large water tank, 60 ounces, so they're just about equal there. Both top fill, the Via Venezias with the top filling latch up top, and the Solis with the top filling reservoir up here. A couple of other differences between these machines. This machine has programmable temperature, the Solis. It has 3 different temperatures that you can choose from, and that gives you a lot of range of adjustability between wanting a low temperature for something like a darker roast, or get a high temperature for something like a lighter roast. The Via Venezia, it's a pretty one-trick pony there, but it tends to have very good overall temperature anyways, and temperature stability with the single boiler inside. So that's the main differences between these two machines. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab some coffee, and we're going to go ahead and start brewing and see what the differences are between these two. Alright, so I'm back, and I've got my coffee prepped in both portafilters here. The Solis is here and the Via Venezia is here. Grounded on a Faustino, which can definitely grind much finer than you'd even need on the pressurized baskets that I'm using here today. But I did coarsen up the grind so that it's going to be the perfect shot between the two. 8 seconds on here got me 16 grams out, so we're nice and even between the two different machines. So we're going to start with the Via Venezia. I'm going to go ahead and just lock my my portafilter into the group head here. And we're going to go ahead and start our shot. With the Via Venezia, it's super simple. Just one button to start your shot, one button to start your steam, and the valve. So the machine's super easy to use. So I'm going to go ahead and start my shot. There we have it. So I pulled this to about 40 milliliters or 40 grams, just over an ounce and a half here. And I'm just going to go ahead and taste this outright. Pretty balanced. Lots of crema there. It's definitely a good pressurized basket shot for sure. And now I'm going to go ahead and pull my shot on the Solis, and let's see if there's any differences here. The Solis does also have a manometer, a pressure gauge up front, so you can gauge your shot quality. Unlike something more manual like the Via Venezia, you can see if you're between that 9 to 10 bars for extraction that you do want here. With a pressurized basket, it's a lot easier, of course, to get up to 9 bars because you are going to be having the pressure from the basket. If you're using a non-pressurized basket, it's an even better way to determine your shot if it's too coarse, too fine. And let's start the shot here. Solis does have a pre-infusion phase here, as you can hear. All right. So, a little bit under-extracted here on the manometer, which is actually a really great thing to see. So I could grind finer next time, but I'm just going to go ahead and taste these shots separately just to see how they taste. It's sour, but to my fault. If you wanted to grind a little bit finer, you certainly could. The temperature's there though, so it's no fault of the temperature here. And that's one of the nicest things about having a manometer built right into the group head, is you can see what mistakes you're making when you're pulling your shot. And then next time I would probably give it another half turn finer and maybe right in that 9 bars of pressure. Yeah. So now I'm going to go ahead and steam milk, and we're going to go and see how both of these are. Like I said before, the Via Venezia uses a Panarello system, which basically is incorporating air into the milk itself automatically from the top of the Panarello in. The Solis has a manual steam one, which is going to be a little bit different, but can give you ultimately better control over your milk. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this machine warm up for steam, and I'll be right back once we're ready to steam. So we're ready to steam on the Via Venezia here, and because it's a Panarello, super simple, I'm just going to go ahead and give it 45 seconds of steam so that we can be apples to apples on time. And here we go. I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the steam one, purge it just a little bit, make sure it's all clean. And the bubbles on here are pretty good, reminiscent of most Panarello systems. I don't know if you can see that there. It's a little bit lighter than like a true microfoam because you are getting a little bit different of a type of air accumulation in the milk, but it's certainly a good temperature for sure. It's quite warm here. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a latte from here. The bubbles do seem to dissipate a little quickly, and there's not much control you have over it, but that's okay because it's really easy to get foam every single time here. It's not much, but it's certainly going to taste pretty good here. So let me go ahead and try it out. Temperature, pretty good. The milk could be definitely a little hotter. I did only give it 45 seconds so that when we do the Solis, we can compare that too. But overall, it's a pretty tasty latte, and one that you can get every single time with the Via Venezia. So now let me go ahead and steam milk on the Solis here. We're going to give it that same 45 seconds of warm-up, or of steaming time. And with the Solis, just like the Via Venezia, there is an auto purge function, as you can hear. And just like with the Via Venezia, it is just a valve on the side. It's only about 30 seconds of warm-up time, so we're ready. So this is a manual steam wand, like a traditional espresso machine. So a little bit more technique is needed to get that microfoam that you're looking for, but you'll get a hang of it after a couple of days here. Certainly a Panarello is easier. This can definitely get you a little bit of better texture at the end of the day. So we're going to give it 45 seconds. Go ahead and clean my steam wand off here. And then you'll see once I take it out of steam mode, it goes ahead and purges that thermal block there to allow for quicker cool down into the brewing mode. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pour my latte here. And I will say, after that amount of time, it's definitely warmer than the Via Venezia. There's a little bit more steaming power on here, but the foam quality, and again, my mistake here, is a little bit thinner than the Via Venezia's. But the Panarello system does give you a better overall consistency, whereas this does take a little bit more work to make sure that you are getting great foam every single time. Yeah, the milk definitely helps with the shot that I pulled earlier. It's more balanced, like it was, like you'd expect out of a milk drink. It kind of hides that sourness that I got from the shot earlier. But it's definitely hotter, and certainly much hotter than the Via Venezia's drink that it made. So these are two different machines here. They are in different price points, so the Solis is a little bit more expensive than the Via Venezia originally was. But we think that the added features of programmable temperature, adjustable volume, and having the manual steam wand with the same brewing options like you see with the Via Venezia, pressurized baskets and pod like with the Via Venezia, but you also get the unpressurized baskets on the Solis. We think that these two machines are certainly great in their own right, and we wanted to show you the differences and compare them. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.